An SSO system can increase sales through some very simple things. If it's hard to log in to a service which is offering paid content, for example, or offering the initiation of orders, then you're missing out on those orders, or you're missing out on that supplemental business. SSO systems typically make it very easy to log in, very easy to connect various third-party authentication systems to your account, so that if today you forget your username and password, you can still log in using a government ID or still log in using your social network account. So first, not having an effective way to sign in is like shutting the doors to your business for your customers. It's a very high barrier if a user can't log into the system or gets confused for them to contact support and go through the support process. For example, talking to a representative via chat or telephone or sending an email, and they might just as well switch to another provider where they have an account, or they can get an account, or they're not confused. So missing out on lost sales is one very simple way that SSO improves sales. The other one is increasing sales. So if a customer already has an account with you, selling to that customer is always easier. It's always easier to sell something to an existing customer. If the customer has an account with you, they know how to log in, they might already have your application where they're signed in. Turning an ordering process into a very simple few-click process where you might make an offer by email or notification, they click through. Depending on the value of the transaction, they might need to re-authenticate. Depending if they already have a billing relationship, it might be a very seamless process to get them to complete a supplementary order for add-on sales for a product or service that they already have. So that's about increasing existing sales. Another sales opportunity for SSO is around federation. Federation is when somebody signs into your service using credentials that they already have, or when you let somebody sign into another service using the session that they already have with you. So this is all about cooperation with third parties. So you might identify another company where your users are also active, where they're not in a competitive situation, you're not selling the same services, but selling complementary services. If you could provide a link on their service to your website and allow them to transfer to your website with one click without having to log in again, this is a really easy way to increase the foot traffic, the visitors on your website, to get them into your website at the right point of another transaction to continue the journey with you. So an example might be that you need a service on your partner company A requires, or typically it's desirable to have some other service from your company B. At the end of finishing the transaction in company A, they can offer you, oh, did you know that you can also get this add-on service from this company? Click here. And with consent of that user, you can send their personal details or their account reference information in order to continue the journey with your business. So if you're transferring the user together with context in the middle of a time when the transaction, when they need to buy a service or product, then that's a really smooth way to make life easier for that customer, get them to spend their money or agree to a contract at the time when they need it, rather than having them interrupt the journey, forget about it, having to think about it again, and go through a selection process which might not end at your website. The other case is when your journey also has a continuation story. So if a user logs into your website or service regularly, or uses your app regularly, and there's a complementary service that relates or is somehow connected or useful for that user group, it's a very simple process to allow them to have a tab or have a button, have a way to order that complementary service from within your website. It may mean that they transfer to the other application, or they transfer to the other website, or it may be that it happens within your own page as an embedded service. In these, the business models are typically around a percentage, a referral fee that you'll get for either the customer or the transaction. And these are great channels of additional income, passive income often if the referral fee is based on the ongoing life cycle of that customer.